Albert Einstein said that creativity was seeing what everybody else has seen, but thinking what nobody else has thought. What a wonderful way of summing up creative thinking. Let's learn a little bit more about it. Creative thinking is the ability to come up with ideas that are fresh and different. Your ability to think creatively distinguishes you from everybody else. And whilst it's nice to fit in, it's also important to stand out, especially when you start applying for jobs. Creative thinking will also help you to find solutions to problems, makes your stories more interesting to read, and your presentations more engaging to listen to. When we think about the word creativity, we often think about the great inventors. People like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, and most recently, Elon Musk. Or perhaps the less well-known ones, like Maria Beasley, the inventor of the life raft, and John Logie Baird, the inventor of the television. Elizabeth McGee, whose landlord's game later became known as Monopoly. Or Tim Berners-Lee, the founder of the World Wide Web. So how did they do it? Were they born with the magical gift of creativity in their heads? Some people may indeed have a personality that motivates them towards thinking differently. Furthermore, the more experiences in life we have, the more dots we have in our brain that we can connect. So one thing you can do to increase your creativity is to read more and seek out new experiences. However, we all have the ability to think creatively. And what's more, we can get better at it. So where do great ideas come from? We often think that ideas come from eureka moments, those flashes of inspiration when a brilliant new idea jumps into our head. And inspirational thinking like this does happen. Paul McCartney one day woke up with a melody in his head, and one of the Beatles' most famous songs ever, Yesterday, was born. But ideas mostly don't happen this way. Ideas come from hard work. YouTube sensation Jimmy Donaldson, better known as Mr. Beast, spends an hour a day brainstorming new ideas. You see, most ideas require effort. The brain thinks in patterns, and when it finds something that works, it rarely looks for fresh solutions. This is why we often follow the same route to school every day. It works, so there seems little point in trying a new road. The key to a creative idea is nudging the brain away from its usual pattern of thinking. This is often called thinking outside the box. So how do we break our brain away from its usual pattern of thinking? Here are 10 terrific tips for you to try. Tip number 1. When you come up with a good idea, don't stop. Keep thinking. When it comes to idea generation, it's about quantity, not quality. Yes, you heard that right. Quantity, not quality. Most people stop when they think of a good idea and miss out on an even better idea that is just around the corner. Ideas work like a snowball rolling down a mountain. Once you get one idea, this feeds the next, and the next, and the next. So give yourself a target. I'm going to come up with 10 ideas before I decide on the way forward. Or I'm going to set a timer and spend 10 minutes brainstorming before deciding which idea to choose. Tip 2. Find new uses for existing objects. A dog bed made from an old tire? A mirror made from a tennis racket? A football plant pot? A plate rack made from coat hangers? Not only are these designs functional, but they also allow us to reuse objects that we might ordinarily throw away. Tip 3. Change an existing idea. A modern bicycle looks nothing like the original. Over time, the design has been changed to make riding an easier and safer experience. Existing ideas can be changed using a number of different strategies. Add something to it, like Swiss Army did to pocket knives. Remove something, like Apple have done by simplifying the remote controller. Replace something, like Dyson did to the wheel of the wheelbarrow, making it easier to maneuver. Rearrange something, like this architect has done to give us a rather unique house. Magnify something, like tennis racket manufacturers have done to give the tennis racket a larger sweet spot, making the game easier to play. And minimize something, like earphone manufacturers have done to make them more portable and more comfortable. Tip 4. Combine two separate ideas to make something new. Combine a suitcase and a trolley and we have luggage on wheels. Combine peanut butter with jelly or jam and we have the PBJ sandwich. Combine a laundry basket with basketball and we have a way of encouraging children to put their dirty laundry in the basket. Tip 5. Use a random word to help you come up with fresh ideas. Let's pretend it's someone's birthday and you're struggling to think of what birthday gift to get them. Open a dictionary and randomly select a word. The first word I pointed to was window. Now think of presents that link with this word. A frame. I could get them a picture frame. Glass. I could get them some glasses. Or some sunglasses. Or some eyeglasses. Or a mirror. The view from the window might inspire me to get them a painting. And the window lock might make me think of buying them a locket. Random words take your ideas in unexpected directions. Tip 6. Collaborate. Brainstorm with other people. Their ideas will inspire new ideas for you, and your ideas will inspire new ideas for them. The expression, 2 heads are better than one, is certainly true when it comes to idea generation. But why stop at 2? Why not 3 or 4 or more? Tip 7. Give yourself limitations. This sounds strange because surely you'll be more creative if you imagine infinite possibilities. Strangely though, giving yourself limited resources forces you to be more creative. Take those survival shows. Take away matches from the presenters and they find unbelievably creative ways to start a fire. Think about rock climbing. Limit the number of colours you're allowed to use forces you to be more creative in your climbing routes. Finally, think about sentences. If I told you to write a sentence about your day, that would be easy. If I limited you to only 10 words, it would be a bit more challenging. If I told you that each word needed to start with a different starting letter, you would need to be a lot more creative. Finally, if I limited you to use only words that didn't contain the letter A, you would have to be super creative. So giving yourself limitations increases your creativity. Tip 8. Reverse thinking. Think about how you're going to do the opposite of what you're trying to achieve, and then flip it. This is best explained through an example. Let's pretend that we own a restaurant and we're trying to get more customers. We'll begin by thinking of ideas to reduce the number of customers coming to our restaurant. For a start, we won't let anyone know the type of food we're serving. Next, we'll make our restaurant look boring. And finally, we'll ban anyone from coming to our restaurant with a cell phone. Now, all we need to do is to flip those ideas. We'll give out free samples of food on the street so people can taste what we're cooking. We'll have theme nights and decorate the inside of the restaurant in a fun way. And finally, we'll provide free Wi-Fi to anyone eating in the restaurant. Tip 9. Break your routines. As was explained earlier, our brain loves routine. It thinks in patterns, and when it finds something that works, it rarely looks for fresh solutions. Having new experiences helps release our brain from its routine, resulting in increased creativity. So start doing things differently. Step out of your comfort zone. Talk to different people. Read different types of books. Try new activities. Take different routes. Sit in different positions. Change what you eat and listen to new music. And finally, tip 10. Simply go for a walk. Stanford University researchers found that the simple act of walking increases creativity. And not just by a little bit, by 60%. Interestingly, this was not due to the environment the person was walking in. Even walking on a treadmill in a room facing a blank wall resulted in twice as many creative responses to a person sat in the same room. So if you're looking for a fresh new idea, go for a walk. You now have 10 strategies that will help you to think more creatively. Begin to use them to start changing your world.